Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. You are looking at the Gamasutra Twitch channel right now. If you can hear the sound of my voice, that's what you are seeing. My name is Brian Francis. I'm, as always, the invisible voice inside your head. And I'm joined in the lower left-hand corner by two wonderful people who also sometimes write on Gamasutra. Alex, who are you?
Oh God, that's a deep question. I don't know. I guess like for now, today I'm an editor at Gamasutra.com.
Yeah, Brandon,
Nice.
who are you?
I'm the director of Necrosoft Games, and also I write things on Gamasutra sometimes because I can't stay away from the journalisms.
He can't. He keeps coming back. He
I
just
can't
keeps
stay
coming
away.
back. In fact, Brandon, because you came back, you are the reason we are here today. Brandon, what game is this?
This game is Murdered Soul Suspect, which is a game that people thought was dumb, but they were wrong. It turned out they were dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you accusing some of the people who might be at home today of being dumb because they didn't play
I'm
this in 2014?
Actually, what I'm accusing them of is reading reviews that thought this was bad and just agreeing instead of playing it for themselves and
Fair
learning that there was a lot of interesting stuff. Because this game, like, you start out, you're alive, and you're doing some stuff.
You're a cop.
playing.
You're copping.
Yeah,
You're a very fancy cop. In Salem, Massachusetts. I need to point that out. We're in Salem, Massachusetts, and this apparently
Yeah.
has like the most important police force. This is like NYPD level police force.
owned. He just got wrecked.
Yeah,
Yep.
you just got wrecked. Anyway, we're playing, Brandon. We're playing this because a month ago you came to me, and said, "Hey, you guys should stream Murdered Soul Suspect and talk about the amazing little design things it does with being a ghost and like the narrative design, the level design." And I said, "Brandon, I never played Murdered Soul Suspect because I was one of those people we just mentioned a couple seconds ago who read the reviews and then didn't play it." And so I invited you on to come talk with us about this.
Yeah, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it right now. So this right here, you got yourself touching your own self because you're dead.
Yeah.
He's trying to get back into his body.
Mm-hmm.
See if he can wake up.
Up,
You're trying
up,
to adjust your foot to be the right way to get back inside of your body, which is kind of,
This part's real.
I don't
good.
know, man. That's kind of weird and cool.
This is wacky. This is just good wacky. This is a good wacky thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like these people were really trying to do some stuff here, and this is one of the main reasons why I refuse to discount this game,
Yeah.
because who's trying this stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
So, like, we'll get to it pretty soon, but one of the reasons I like this game so much. Oh, there he is, seeing his killer.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I like this
He
game
puts
so
the
much.
cigarette in his mouth before going for the gun.
Yeah,
Sure.
he's hard boiled.
Yeah. Oh, he gets owned again.
Can we just talk about the fact that he has a chain wallet?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not played for. So far as I've played, it's not played for laughs.
He
It's
has
like a
chain
very
wallet,
serious.
a fedora
Yeah.
tattoo, like the suit vest. Like
Mhm.
he's also his name's Ronan, like Ronan
Yeah.
the Accuser, played by Lee Pace in Guardians of the Galaxy. And
Sure, that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
yeah, no, but it's very close to Ronan. Or well, actually, I think it's supposed to be an Irish name. That this guy is from like some Irish family, and he
Yeah.
has like this very pulpy background. Is like his whole family is a bunch of crooks, but he decides to be a cop. His wife dies. He's an important person because his wife dies, and you'll get to meet his dead wife. This is all explained to you kind of in like a cutscene before this that we skipped past.
Yeah.
And yet, that's barely the setup for this game. The setup for this game is happening right now, where you become a ghost because you've been killed, and now you have to solve your own murder.
Yep, he's a G host.
Yeah.
And what I like is, oh man, if I put my arms up there, it
Let's
makes
go meet
him look
the asshole dead wife.
huge. Yeah, so like what we're gonna see in a little bit is how so many games out there give you gating reasons, like you can't go this place yet, or you can't do this thing, but most of the time it's just like it's an invisible wall, you're not allowed to do it, we're not going to let you do it. Or it's something like, yeah, I need a key, to get through this gate. I gotta go murder a lab technician so that I can get a key card. And that's all fine. But what this game does is, since you're in Salem, and it's like consecrated ground from witch hunt times, there's some things that are consecrated and some things that aren't. You can't pass through any consecrated areas because you're a ghost. And that kind of makes sense, but the way that you can access those areas is a human being has to, like a living human has to open a door or a window or something, and then the seal is broken. You can go in there.
Yeah.
And so that's the gating conceit, but it feels simultaneously to me like they really thought of how do we make this make sense narratively, but also how do we make this seamless so that it doesn't feel as much like gating as other things might, because it is gating, but it doesn't feel to me as a player playing it, except when I'm thinking about it in kind of a meta way, as something like that. It's not frustrating to me as much because it's part of the entire like it has a cohesive world, and the gating is a part of it, and that's pretty nice. Also, I don't hate the writing in this game.
Yeah.
It's
cheesy. It's pulpy as all heck.
Yeah.
Right. It's
like
it's pulpy, but it's
totally consistent at least.
Yeah. Exactly. It's consistent. It's earnest. It's like somebody who loved this kind of stuff wrote this.
Yeah.
I feel.
I think what's neat also, like before we move on, like the way it gates off areas with this like whole invented mythology. It doesn't have to do that. Like most games don't.
Right.
Most games are just like you just can't go past here. There's a wall or mission fail or whatever.
Yeah.
This game doesn't have to do any of that. But it takes the time to do so, and in doing so, it makes the game sort of feel more holistic. It feels more like a real, believable world, and that's rad. And you don't see that as often as you might like.
This is exactly why this thing kind of caught me when I first played it at E3. It came to E3. I didn't know that it existed at that time, and I decided to play through to just like start this demo because nobody was playing it at the Square Enix kiosk, and I was like, oh man, I'm really enjoying this, and I played the entire hour-and-a-half demo or whatever, and then at the end of the demo, it says. Out now, and I was like, what the heck? I just spent an hour and a half at E3 playing this game. Did we miss a prompt? I think
no, I'm just trying to I was waiting to show something while you're finished.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's highlight like just kind of how weird the level design of this game is. Like you said, consecrated building over here, which we don't know about yet. We haven't been informed about that yet, but like I as a player am used to like, oh, I can't touch this dumpster. Oh, but I can walk through the dumpster.
Yeah.
But this spooky old building is standing in the way of this alleyway, so that's kind of unusual.
Yeah.
So my pathway forward was blocked. She walked through, and then this hay bale cart popped up. And because I'm not un assassino, I can't just jump on it.
Right.
And so I just go through the dumpster. It starts getting you on ghost logic right there. So that's pretty. That is cool.
Also, like clipping as a mechanic is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Ian W. Adams apparently had friends who worked on the game, and apparently at one point it was supposed to have combat, so a lot of the long, lonely corridors that are still in the game are there because you were supposed to be having fights.
Well, I'm glad it doesn't, personally.
I was playing
there is... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I mean, I have nothing. I was just going to say, there is some form of, like hide-and-seek combat with demons where you can sort of, like, pop... But you have to, I actually like it way better. Because you're not just shooting your ghost powers or your ghost gun at these demons. You're you have to kind of play hide and seek and jump from place to place where they don't see you,
like
and
a
get
ghost.
around behind them, like a ghost cop.
Like a ghost.
And that's neat.
Yeah. So I don't love I don't like stealth, so I don't love that part of the game, and it's definitely my least favorite part of it. But I like everything else, and one of the things I like that we're gonna see later too, probably, is also they're totally going for Wednesday Addams right here. Like there's no ambiguity. That's who this is. But so you're a cop and you want to solve, but you want to solve your own murder and stuff, but you're still a cop. So when you get into like your first real area and there wind up being other ghosts who are like, how did I die? Or why am I still a hungry ghost? Why am I wandering around? And you start solving their problems for them, it actually makes more sense to me because yes, he's dead. Yes, he wants to solve his killer, but also he's a cop. He's a hard-boiled detective. So if somebody's like, I can't figure out this mystery, it's like, well, this mystery is easier to solve than my own problems. Like that's a classic hard-boiled cop thing. It's like, yes, I'm an alcoholic, but I can solve these other people's problems to fill up the emptiness inside me. Like, so the whole thing of like when you play Fallout or whatever, it's like, you gotta go Fallout 3, gotta go find my dad, and then it's like, oh no, wait, actually I need to collect 5 million bottle caps so that I can buy this horse head that I can mount on my wall or whatever. It's like 5 years later, maybe I'll think about getting to my dad's quest. But in this, it again, like narratively, it makes a little more sense to me because he's a hard-boiled detective, and as long as you're willing to accept that some Marlowe-like detective exists in the world and all the pulpy, hard-boiled writing is in there, then it makes sense for him to be solving other people's problems.
I just want to point out, he's not just a Marlowe-like detective, he's a Marlowe-like detective as vis-a-vis what a person in our age thinks is cool.
Right,
so, like,
yeah.
This hairdo.
Chain wallets.
Yeah, this is what I think is cool,
yeah.
Obviously. Chain wallets, fedoras.
Games, especially big budget games, like really draw heavily from the well of like pulp writing, pulp fiction, like noir. But it's so often like those themes are sort of like they're tied into systems that involve you murdering hundreds of people and like just spending 30 hours doing things that make no sense to your like core reason for being. So yeah, you're right. Like this is like a really interesting, earnest example of how you can like try to do right by those genres of fiction. And it's kind of a bummer that like this was the studio's last game. Like Airtight closed months after this shipped.
1 month. Closed in July in 2014. And speaking of Airtight, real quick, Puke Master says they worked on this game from 2009 to 2013. And they say they know that's hard to believe coming from a guy with a name like Puke Master, but I know like technically we're supposed to not just believe things people say to us on the internet without verification, but Puke Master, we invite you to if you worked on this game to share any stories and tell us what it was like working on it / comment on anything going on. I should actually remember that there's a sprint button and get sprinting into things. But I'm just having fun walking through things right now. Like, there's this over here in the, like, they start you off facing that way, back the way you came, but I totally just ran around the courtyard here to get behind where that was.
Yeah,
this way to street.
Yeah, we'll see more when you get inside the building if you get in during the stream, but, like, I can't think of it. Like, ever since I was a kid and I turned on NoClip and Doom, right? Like, I've been aware that games are virtual BS, like they're just constructs, like walls mean nothing. But I've never, and not to say it hasn't been done, but I've never seen a developer use that idea as a mechanic and as a gameplay conceit the way this game does. And that's like weird, and I wish more studios would do more with that.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone do it the way that this game does it, and I think it's pretty neat. It's a neat thing to do. Also, still being a cop, he's about to go gather evidence.
Yeah. We're about to get into some... this was described when I was looking up on Wikipedia as L.A. Noir style and type investigations. Because I guess there was a minute where I guess everyone thought L.A. Noir was going to be really hot.
I remember that.
They wanted their version of L.A. Noir. Puke Master says they were a producer from the Square Enix Japan side and that the game went through a lot of iterations. I believe that. We need to give due diligence here. Games are hard to make, and everyone from publishers to developers has to deal with very real realities. Nice job.
Oh, no.
In getting games like these out the door. So it's kind of a miracle to ship it all, and we're very thankful to have it here, because now we get to take inspiration from it.
Games are so easy to make. My PlayStation Vita game that I first tried to release in 2012 is just about to have its final finished iteration.
Yep.
So come on.
Yeah.
So easy. 5 years to make like a little puzzle tower defense game. It's the easiest thing you could do. Whatever. Bunch of whiners.
Didn't you give a talk about how when not to give up on your game though, Brandon?
Yeah, and well, actually, not giving up on that game and continuing to sell versions of it is the only reason that I can continue to make other games.
Nice.
So, yeah.
We're sort of faffing about here while the cutscene takes part. I'd say like weirdly like a cutscene like this is kind of where the game is at its most normal. Like we're just sort of stuck waiting like as narrative is dropped off here. I guess this guy's a family member. That our other cop is an asshole cop who's going to be affecting your investigation. He's going to pop up later on in the building we're about to enter. But we are going to, in a second, get around to looking at this crime scene.
Yeah.
After we rescued Pache here.
Yep.
I like the idea that someone was like, oh, "What if we mixed?"
Oh my God! There's no building that tall in Salem. I've been to Salem.
Really?
There's no police station that's like behind. Look behind the police station, SPD. Look how tall that building is.
It's pretty big.
That's like a Gotham-esque like set piece.
This is like this game is imagining as though Salem was like a real metropolis and not just a sleepy history/tourist trap town. Just about an hour outside of Boston. By the way, actual Salem, very lovely. Would encourage it. Would encourage you to visit it, not just for the fun witch stuff, but some fun American history.
Brian, did you ever meet any ghosts in Salem?
I wouldn't know. Maybe I don't know. I saw a lot of weird things when I was in Salem.
They probably would have clipped right through you.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any ghost stories? Like real ghost stories?
Okay, you know what's actually funny is like also...
I like this too, by the way.
Yeah, you like this?
Sorry, I just want to point out...
Ghostly writing.
Yeah, this like his thoughts externalized, that actually makes no narrative sense in the world, but I really like it. It's just like it's a weird and cool. I'm always a fan of when someone tries a thing with with UI.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like let's do something different. And here they are doing something a bit different. Like what was that Ubisoft game that like they would write your objectives in
Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction.
Yeah,
and,
so like
Blacklist.
I did not want to play that game at all, but I wanted to look at that UI.
Yeah,
it was really
It
cool.
was so cool.
Splinter Cell Blacklist is a cool game. Pube Master has dropped in chat some original concept art from Yuki Matsuzawa. I'm really sorry if I said that wrong. Who was a really incredible concept guy fresh off Final Fantasy 13. So if you look in chat, you will see that concept art. I'm going to...
Thanks, Pube Master. why
I have to keep saying that out loud.
Why is your name that? I mean, it sounds like you're a real person.
And we have another former developer on this game. Pembana says they worked on this game before it was a... I need a peek here. They said they worked on it, including a prototype combat. Probably can't tell anything about that. They left shortly after the vertical slice milestone. It was still called Codename Visible in the concept art when they were there.
Interesting.
I'm also just pointing out I'm using information about the 6-axis. I'm using the 6-axis right here to look up and down.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't
Nice.
try that.
I didn't try that either. I like that we like the people that care about watching this stream are the people that worked on this video game.
I'm really happy that happened. I was
too.
trying to find some former developers who could maybe join us in, but the only people I knew who'd worked on it said that the final version didn't have their stuff. So this is okay. So I want to talk about something that fascinated me when I was playing this, which is I really appreciate this, which is you possess people and then you're given game actions to interact with them. It's not like you just walk up to them and hit X. You 6-axis works here too. I actually don't know the fact I need. So I need to dispossess her. So like you possess them and then you're given relevant options like eavesdrop here, which triggers this cutscene. So it's not like you just walk up and hit X, which I feel like will be a lot more linear. Like there's kind of a degree of like what buttons do I need to push in the right order to make this happen. And I like that. So I've been playing some visual novels lately for some research, and they do this kind of thing that is
to some extent annoying, but if it's done well, it actually feels satisfying when you do it, where it's like I've got to figure out the order of operations for having this conversation with this person. Like, how do I tease this information out of them with the options that I have available to me? And it's kind of like a puzzle. This is a little lighter than that, but I really like the way that they do this stuff, the possession thing, gathering facts and evidence and stuff, and then presenting it in, like, you're helping these cops solve the problem. And this stuff, I don't think it has to necessarily be done in the right exact order, because it'd be frustrating because you'd have to do it over and over again. It's like, as long as you've got all the facts, you can learn a bunch of things, and that's pretty cool. And so, like, you've got that possession kind of detecting mechanic that you can do here, and then when you're in the ghost world, like, you have to talk to people that are like you, that are also ghosts, and then do the possession thing at the same time, and combine those two investigation methods, and it's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's a cool way that it turns people into interactable objects, and it turns ghosts into people you talk to, like that lady who just poofed away. Oh, she's not poofed away. She's hanging out here.
She's poofing there.
I don't think I talked to her in my save.
And it's cool that, like, once again, I think tutorials are hard. I think explaining to people how to do things is really difficult. But the earlier on, the Wednesday Addams kid said that you can only go into these places when somebody opens a door or a window or whatever. Yeah. And so now, when we're about to be able to get into that doorway, somebody opens a door and we see a ghost walk out of it, and it's like, okay.
And
so
you can talk to her and she'll remind you if you're really having a bad day.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly point out, if I decided to walk over past that police car, I tried that when I was just demoing this for myself earlier. It poofs you back here saying, like, I need to focus on the investigation. There's also
that's successful.
Yeah, there's also a fun bit over here where you can, like, possess the news reporter, who's actually you're going to be able to see on a TV up in the apartment building. And her thoughts and the camera guy's thoughts are kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone else here is obviously thinking about the murder, and they're like, news.
Yeah. I also seem to recall that she had, like, several things to say. Like, she had her newscast was lengthy.
Yeah, because you can hear it as it goes on up here. Puke Master, again, if you would like us to refer to you by another name, let us know. But says that a lot of the UI came from BBC's Sherlock, which was referring to the floating text stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that was popular around this time because I was watching this in college, which was before this came out.
How old are you? 5?
I am an actual child. Hey, ghost person walking through the wall.
Peace out. See you later.
I should walk through the wall.
Do you think he ever runs out of ghost cigarettes? Like, he just has that one.
I think he's only got the one. He's just really nursing it.
It's a ghosty cigarette. The cigarette died with him, so he gets to smoke it eternally.
Oh man, do cigarettes have souls?
No.
Yeah, I guess.
Nicotine is not a soul, Alex.
I just like the idea that someone was like, what if you just mixed Geist and LA Noire?
Yeah.
Let's make that a video game. And it actually, it came together and it works really, really well.
Oh, look at this nice fish tank.
Oh. I also kind of like that, just to sort of remind you of places that you can walk through if you need to. There's like ectoplasmic residue in these parts of the wall. It's weird.
See, there's the newscast from outside, which I appreciate. Like, look at this. This isn't like a live. Look at the illusion this is recreating of, like, this isn't like a live feed of what's happening in the game engine out there. This is a animation of the same model shrunk down to a screen and propped on a TV, and then slightly over enhanced for whiteness for what effect I don't fully understand. We need that level of detail.
It's the bloom of his bad television there, and they got the little the news bars on there and stuff. It's cool, and there's the cop lights outside. I don't know. I've never made a 3D game before, so I still find just any nice details in a 3D game to be impressive.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through something that wilded me out here. So we have these two. Like, I like how everyone inside kind of cares and doesn't care about what's going on outside. Like, they're talking about their friend Jennifer and how the neighbors are weird. Inside there, one of them just wants to watch TV while the other's looking at the crime scene. But look, this ectoplasm's weird. Let's walk in here. Oh man, another ghost.
Yeah.
Let's talk to her.
This is the first ghost I think that you can help. She's freaked out with her death situation.
Yeah. Let's help her out. While she's telling us what's going on, blah blah blah, she died, can't find her body, that'll help her pass on. Puke Master says Ronan died smoking, so the cigarette appears over and over, and it's in his mouth at all time in cutscenes. Even at the beginning when he's fighting the guy who kills him, before he rushes at him, he picks up his cigarette and puts it in his mouth.
Yeah.
Man, that means he's cursed with that cigarette and that chain wallet for all of eternity. That's rough. It's it's a tired observation, but like, it's kind of a bummer that it's hard to imagine what kind of outfit will be able to make something like this now in 2017. Yeah. This game might cost a couple million to make, but not 50 million. Somewhere in between an indie game, even a very like expensive, well-made indie game.
Yeah, it's like a AA game at this point.
Yeah.
It sucks because that people tried to, regardless of how fraught development was, and I mean, if it went through all these iterations, it probably was quite. What resulted was a very interesting and experimental feeling product with a high production value that actually works quite well, and then it was not rewarded for that, and so there goes your incentive as a publisher to do anything like this ever again, which is a real shame because it sucks that people didn't like this because my girlfriend, she loves Phoenix Wright. Mm-hmm. That is her favorite series in the world because it's like relaxing. She can investigate stuff and have these conversations. So it's like she's doing things, she's moving the world ahead, but there's not a lot of pressure. And this game does have pressure in the ghosty segment, but like this is the kind of thing in a 3D world that she would be more interested in playing than a lot of other things. And it's not. I don't know. It's. I guess Telltale sort of does something like that, but it's a bit different.
Yeah.
So I just want to point out these two killed the woman in the other room.
Right.
Like, that's what we just found out. That guy just straight up was thinking about, oh man, when I made him think about the murder, he's like, oh wow, totally collapsed.
Because you can kind of influence them and then make them think about that time that they murdered that lady.
Yeah. So I'm gonna work on that. Not the gardening tools, not the old man's secret. There we go.
That's messed up.
Nope.
Yeah.
Wrong clue. Make her think about mysterious murder. I guess there's some kind of countdown timer here with these police badges.
Oh, I think that's a number of times you get it wrong.
Yeah. But I haven't played the full game. I haven't finished it yet, but I played a bit of it this week, and like even when I seemed to use up all the badges, nothing bad happened. I just kept clicking on stuff, so I don't know
it's
what
probably
that
like
is supposed to be.
It's probably like a Chivo Hunter thing. Like get all perfect or whatever in a run.
Yeah, I don't know how that works either. But I would appreciate a light difficulty level for a game like this because I'm not trying to have a hardcore gamer challenge over here. I'm trying to investigate a mystery. I don't care if it's hard.
Yeah, you just want to haunt this world. You want to hang out. You want to walk through some walls and talk to some ghosts. There's some fun chat in the chat about how that man, I forget who developed it, but do you guys remember that mobile and I think it was 3DS game Ghost Trick?
Yeah.
You would draw, and so they're talking about how around the same time this game was in development, that game was getting some buzz, and they were sort of looking at that and going, "Oh no, someone else is doing this. Someone else is doing the possess people to solve your own murder." And I had forgotten about that game. That game was rad.
Yeah, it's very good. So that all comes back around because that's Shu Takumi, the director of Phoenix Wright is also the director of Ghost Trick. So,
Ooh.
yeah. So there you go.
Not enough Ghost games.
I agree.
That's like 5, right? There's like Messiah, Geist, Ghost Trick, Murdered, and
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. Right? Yeah. There you go. The holy 5.
I guess there are a
That's
couple Ghostbusters games, and one of them is kind of good.
Yeah, which was the good one again?
The basically like Ghostbusters 2.5, the one where they got all the old voice actors, and Bill Murray just barely refused to, barely agreed to cooperate.
Is that the Super Nintendo one? That was
No, that's the. Oh, maybe there's a good Nintendo one that I don't know about because there's always like that one licensed game.
I do
like,
not believe there
if
is.
Frank
No.
Cifaldi was here, we'd go, guys, let me tell you about Batman the Animated Series, the SNES game or whatever.
We would talk about the Genesis version because it's very excellent, but
Oh god.
made by Clockwork Tortoise.
Apparently, there's a really bad ghost game where you haunt people, like college frat houses and stuff. Ghostmaster, I think it's called.
There's also what is it called? Haunting, I think. No, Haunting starring Polterguy on the Genesis. Polterguy. That's the person. There, boom. Selected that. I love that's another kind of stupid thing where it's like, yeah, cool, I'm gonna collect this hot water heater.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's evidence, but it's like, yeah, just whoop.
It's totally like, okay, you're in a level and we need to make things rewarding for if you poke around this corner. So we're gonna put a bunch of text in a menu and put some chivos, put some little things that feel nice to pick up because you hold down the R2 trigger and it rumbles a little.
Yeah.
And it's just a
What is
little
going on
interaction
here?
to populate a game world.
Are you summoning the devil? What's going on?
She might be summoning the devil. I don't know.
Huh.
Also,
She's just
we need
being
to.
a
I forgot to do
bullshit.
due diligence. We also need to talk about like this game is set in Salem, which is totally cool, and the town of Salem is very like all about like spooky and tourism and witches, and you can go to the jail, like the building where they held the prisoners for the Salem witch trials is still up, like the old jailhouse. But we also need to talk about the fact that the Salem witch trials were actually like a horrific tragedy. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
no,
they're
it's
like
horrible.
they're a political tragedy as much as they like witches, because like a bunch of women and men who were like already like the townspeople hated them. Like hysteria sets in, a few people take advantage of it and get rid of their rivals, and then like all other kinds of shit goes bad. So like there is a weird thing that I feel like everyone has to balance when they go to Salem as a game developer or a writer. Then there's this asshole.
Yeah, no, I mean, like
it's weird.
He's totally haunting this kid, by the way, just to be a dick.
like throughout human history, like this entire subject is just like sucks. Like the way like people use claims of witchcraft and like demonism and all that other stuff to just get people tortured and killed. Yeah, no, that's horrible.
Yeah, and it's weird that that's been it's not weird. It's massively unfortunate that that's been a consistent feature of human society.
Yeah.
Forever. It's just like, well, we have the moral high ground because we've decided, and I don't like these people, so I'm going to invent a reason why they need to be dead. Yeah. I was just looking up the Salem Police Department, by the way, and it is indeed not very tall. It is a short building, but I mean, if I were in the Salem PD and I was like, and I saw that tall building, I'd be like, heck yeah.
I want to feel
It must be witchcraft.
So you just placed that ghost boiler in that on those ghost pegs.
Yeah. I gotta collect it. Yeah.
Nice.
A watery grave.
A watery grave. Nice. You just got one of them trophies.
Chivo.
You're on your way, buddy.
Puke Master says, do the gunshots in your back represent health? Says they originally did. Not sure if they came through because the combat is, which we're about to take a look at.
Oh yeah.
It's real special. I don't know. I didn't pay enough attention when I was stealthing around yesterday and when one of the monsters snuck up on me. So I'm just mostly going to try and get through it as fast as possible so we can keep on detecting things. Cause
yeah, I mean, I died.
I like the design of the monsters, but yeah, I agree.
Also, look at your ghost getting sucked out of your ghost just there.
Second level ghost.
On ghosts.
Double ghost.
This poor sap.
You should let yourself get grabbed because I want to see if you actually take damage and it shows up on the character's back.
That's but then we aren't doing the fun things.
No, this is fun. We're investigating. I want to see if this actually works.
I'm just gonna.
It'll happen later probably.
Yeah,
because
let's let it happen naturally.
I got died. I got died my own self.
Nice.
And I don't think anything that bad happened, except I had to start the sequence over. I do sometimes get frustrated with that sort of thing, though, because I get more and more impatient.
Yeah.
Then, because it's like, I already did this. I want it to be over.
Yeah. Can we talk about how, like, basically, at least for this first building, I need to see other buildings? Ah, crap. Quick time event.
You just lassoed that ghost. Nice job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! Ghost Rodeo. Like, this building is kind of just 3 rectangles on top of each other, and because it's a wall, and like Alex said, walls are a lie in games, but they're really a lie here. So,
Yeah.
like, in theory, if I held down this trigger button, aside from that place, like, woo, this is just a giant square with people in it. All the walls are a lie, and I am the master of my own fate until I hit
like,
the consecrated
this-
wall.
I would be interested in watching someone speedrun this game, because you got to be able to find the optimal path in kind of a different way than you usually would, which is kind of fun and neat and weird.
That'd be nuts.
Where's
I'm gonna
this-
look up,
where's
see if
this
there's any murdered speedrunners. I pasted in our Slack the weird fact that in 2014, film director John Carpenter listed this as one of his top 5 games of the year.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
See?
right up.
Fuck. Oh, you got two at the same time. You got double teamed.
I got 2 ghosts, 2 murderers, 2 murder ghosts, 1 normal ghost.
That's right.
Right. Good save.
Whoop. Okay, well, it happened, Alex. I hope you're happy.
Oh, I was looking up speedruns. What did I miss? Did you take damage?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Penumbra confirms
got
the
dead.
wounds don't indicate health anymore.
Oh.
All right. Where are you? You're there. I
As-
just want to take this
as-
guy out really quickly.
That person was mentioning in chat earlier that it was partially inspired by Dead Space 3. I think Dead Space 3, one of the Dead Space games. And so that would be neat if it also had like a living UI that would show you your health. It looks like there is a hour-long speed run of World. No, I'm sorry. Any percent speed run, 1 hour 6 minutes for Murdered
Nice.
Soul Suspect.
That's
Is that
pretty
on Twin
cool.
Galaxies? Is that run logged on Twin Galaxies?
Yeah,
it's
is it official?
No, it's just on YouTube.
I'm sassy.
I bet it's real.
Yeah. All right. These guys are just whining about their party.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I remember these bros. I
there's
felt like there was some like weird, almost romantic tension between those bros
yeah.
Good.
somehow.
Oh wait, you're fucking here. Shit.
Yeah, that guy's right there. He's gonna get you. Go and get you. You got a floop between those little. What are those little spots? I don't remember what they're
They're like
called.
ghost essence.
Oh, you can't smell you in there, and that's one thing where they didn't quite get a narrative that made sense. Because I don't know what from Ghost Essence.
Oh, we wouldn't because we're not ghosts.
I guess that's
I think,
right.
like a thing we glossed over earlier that I just want to shout out because somebody in chat mentioned it. It's Puke Master again, noting that allegedly people got lost all the time during playtesting and stuff because of the walls that you can pass through walls. So they added a bunch of stairs signs everywhere. It's remarkable that at least in the first hour or two I played in this building, I didn't really get lost at all. And like you can just go through anything everywhere almost. But it's just there's the way light is spaced around and the way there are those ghostly silhouettes on the walls and everything and the blatant stair signs everywhere sort of like help guide you through this like landscape in a way that's really I think elegant. I don't know, it worked for me.
Yeah, it worked for me too. I like it.
I totally did not get lost, and it was more like one of those realizations that like I felt strange in that I think of a normal game space as like I think of like enjoying walking around Prey, and I think of how that's so incumbent on the way those spaces are constructed and all the way their little labyrinthine nature, and how this is kind of like an inverse of that, in that like I can go anywhere I want, but it still feels good because I'm kind of like popping in and popping out.
Yeah.
I also want to shout out to like these little ghost encounters. Like you sort of have a choice of like be a dick or like just be curious. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it adds up to anything, but I think it's an interesting way to like fill out life in these levels. Is like, it's almost like ABCs of Death. I referenced that in our Edith Finch stream earlier this year. It's very like you could find how people died and like you're always like tracking the circumstances of your death. I'm trying to see. Pewmaster wants to know if the
What kind of controller is that? Right
Man,
there.
That's a GameCube
Is that a
controller.
GameCube?
Is it a GameCube?
That's very close to a GameCube controller.
It kind of looks like a Wing Commander to me.
Hmm.
Wing Commander is the game. What is it called?
And I'm looking for Pewmaster because he wanted to
A
see
Wavebird?
the DVDs and magazines were weird. One of these is definitely Hell Duck. These others are a bit too low res and obscured by the light to figure out. But that one looks like some kind of Ring knockoff. Or
What kind of pizza is that?
Kind of pizza? Where, on the table?
Yeah, is that a Hawaiian
cheese.
pizza? Mm.
And then there's like this Mountain Dew knockoff, right? Potato chips.
Nice.
All right, we gotta get going though. We only got so much time. Gotta solve our death.
I was thinking of the Microsoft Sidewinder Strategic Commander.
You can zoom in, Pewmaster, but I'm just I'm moving on here.
Brian's on a
damn it.
mission.
Yeah.
Brian's got 20 minutes to solve his own murder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boom. Watery grave.
All right, cutscene.
Boom. A
For the
boils.
It boils. We're in the Bronx.
Oh, bros,
Are we near
yeah.
Boston?
I don't know.
Also, like, how many games try to paint like a region with a distinct culture, like beyond New York, Los Angeles,
that's true.
Tokyo, London? That's kind of it.
Alan, don't like the Alan Wake, either Alan, I don't know, like I feel like a couple of games have tried to do small
totally.
town Alan
The original
Wake.
Alan Wake is very like Pacific Northwest. It's very like nondescript.
Yeah, I mean, there's Deadly Premonition. It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
Deadly
this is Twin
Premonition, I was
Peaks or
thinking about
whatever.
that.
But not that many. More places could try to do it. I think it's cool when you try to base a thing on a fictional version of a real place.
Yeah.
I'd hang out in a fake Oakland and watch it get slowly gentrified.
Oh, Watch Dogs.
I was gonna say you
2
probably have
kinda
strong
did
feelings
that.
about how Oakland be portrayed in a video game.
Yeah, I should check out Watch Dogs 2. I think Watch Dogs 2 is like the guys from Oakland, but it all takes place in San Francisco. Isn't that right?
And Oakland is like a 20-foot by 20-foot virtual. Like it's not that small, but it's like this little smidge of like a street. It's just nothing.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
I think being from this area like really soured me on that game in a way that's unfortunate because it's fine, but it's just.
Yeah, I think that's what would happen to me as well.
This is kind of cool. Also using the 6-axis here again. You're sort of picking what her emotions are.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, like, I also want to shout out to the animators and character modelers for this game because I think the character models are really good. Like it's a photorealistic-ish, but also like her design's kind of cool. My design, like if goofy, my design is cool. If goofy, like the facial gestures are pretty good. Like the facial animators and the rigs, they're good. Like it's a solid piece of work that it's just kind of like, unfortunately, you need that level of polish to even like sort of do this, but it's expensive but not profitable.
It also kind of has that Japanese character model thing going on, which I enjoy.
Oh yeah, like where, like everyone's kind of like wearing fashion stuff
and like hoods over the eyes like this and everything. It's like very. It's neat.
Yeah, it's good. I'm into it.
It kind of reminds me of like a early 2000s CW show. Like it's really earnestly about like dark secrets and mysteries of the supernatural, and I like that. I wish more games did that with less irony.
Yeah, it's you gotta just admit that some things are cool sometimes. It's all right. You can do it. So you gotta investigate with that guy, don't you?
I'm gonna mind read him. Maybe I need to do something else before it'll give me access to these photos.
Yeah.
Why was the killer here? Let's try. I got some stuff. Let's try hiding witness.
Another potential fun fact from Pewmaster in chat. This person suggests that the chips we looked at earlier may have been called Sugiyama's executive chips. Because Sugiyama was the Japanese producer on the game.
Man, that's cool. I hope that is true.
If only.
I mean, it sounds like those chips are probably somewhere in the game. If it wasn't those chips, then they were some kind of chips. I like when that kind of stuff happens. I just learned quite recently. So there's a company that was called... Crap, I forget what they were called. But they wound up... They were... Oh, yeah, Sega's A&M Division 7. And they eventually became Overworks, which was kind of a joke on them overworking themselves. Also, over meaning like better, so like the best works. But then it was also a pun on the director's name because his name was Oba.
So that's like a triple whammy.
Yeah.
It's like an inside joke. Do you remember what they worked on? Why were you looking them up?
The more whammies, the better. I was looking up some Saturn game that I was playing that was good.
I have a ghost story about a Saturn game. Do you guys want to hear it?
Yeah.
Ghost
I'm
stories.
pretty sure
Spoopy ghost stories.
I was younger and I wasn't deep into games yet, so it might not have been a Saturn. But I went over to my friend's house to help him hook up his new console that his family could afford and my family could not. But he didn't know how to hook up like AV cables and stuff. And he had, I think it was a Saturn because one of the games he got was Daytona, right?
Yeah.
So we're sitting in this like tiny little kid's bedroom in this apartment in outside of LA, in Anaheim actually, like we're hunched over this Saturn, like looking at the back of it and looking at the manual, and we're like 12 or something. I don't know what we are. And I put my hand on the box copy of Daytona, and I put it behind me. I feel myself slip it behind my feet, and then I pull my hand back and I go to work on the console, and I hook it up to it. And he's in front of me the whole time, and no one else is in the apartment. So I can see everything he's doing and what I'm doing. We hook it up, we get it working, we plug it in. We go, oh, it's awesome, it shows, everything's great, it shows great. Get the game. I turn around. Oh, I reach behind me, and it's not there. I go, oh, weird. So I turn around, and the game is gone. I'm like, that's weird. So I look under the bed, which is behind us. It's not there. I look like in the corner, if anyone was kicked us over there, it's not there. We searched that entire apartment that day. We never found that copy of Daytona ever again. And my friend was like, this apartment is haunted. I didn't tell you, but there's a ghost here. And I was like, I don't believe you.
Yeah, that I'm a little
The haunted
disappointed that the
Saturn.
spoop factor is Daytona went missing.
Either he like was did some kind of prestidigitation to like hide that from me when I wasn't looking, and then never played Daytona ever again on his Saturn when I was at his house, or Daytona was just stolen by a ghost.
It's Sega ghosts. I mean, if I were a ghost, those are the kinds of games I'd be taking. And the reason I was looking up Overworks, Sega AM7, etc., is because they made Magic Knight Rayearth for Saturn, which is the last game released in the U.S., but in Japan was a pretty early game. And so I liked that game, so I was just thinking, what else did they make? And then they went on to make like Sakura Taisen series, which is huge, and Skies of Arcadia. So it's like, oh, all right, I guess that all makes sense then.
Cassandra Foster, who worked with police as a psychic consultant. This is a thing. People like sometimes police departments do call in psychic consultants. They don't work a lot, but I think sometimes they work like just enough to where like the clues wind up consistently working enough to make them keep calling them again, like for missing persons cases or whatever.
Yeah,
with psychic consultants just long enough to ensure that the CW can keep making TV shows about it.
So, I didn't. Someone recently like tweeted a thing, and it was like, when your show lasts long enough, like lasts way too long or something, and it was some like, and it just showed me a picture of Scooby-Doo and the gang with two guys I didn't recognize, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Can someone explain this to me? Because this has like 500 retweets, and I don't understand it. And it was just like, it had to be explained to me that Supernatural as a television show was still on the air and was popular enough that they did a crossover with Scooby-Doo, and that's what this picture was depicting. I was like, oh.
Wait, like the live-action Scooby-Doo or the cartoon Scooby-Doo?
Cartoon Scooby-Doo had cartoon versions of the live-action Supernatural guys in it.
So
the Winchesters. Those Winchester boys.
Man, I remember being a teen and
are they
thinking
named
that show
after?
was cool.
Are they named after the Winchester Mystery House?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That house blows.
I've never been.
Come right out and say it. I live near enough to it. I've been there.
Didn't they just release a trailer for the movie based on that house or something?
Probably.
Yeah, it's got Helen Mirren.
It costs like $25 dang to get in there, and then when you get in, it's like, okay, so we've got a lady here who got a bunch of money, but she also had dementia, and so some of her directives to the like architects and stuff were not very sensible. Like, for example, this room goes nowhere. This staircase leads to nothing. The end. Like, seriously, that's it.
No, it's spooky though.
Like, and also some say it was haunted. Like, that's as much as you get out of the stupid your $25 Winchester Mystery House tour. Anyway, this game is a lot more Yeah, here we go.
Oh God, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Oh
here
yeah,
you
because
go.
I don't have the audio in my ears, right? Like all the audio in my ears right now.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Nice.
She calls him father. Why doesn't she just call him dad?
She's got a cool outfit.
Yeah. I'd be her friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
That's like a lot of pressure to make sure you die in a good looking outfit. Like you don't have like a chain wallet on or some boxers or like a really just awkward.
Yeah, you're like trying something on that you're not out, and then you're like there's an earthquake while you're in the dressing room and you're like, oh God, this is what I'm going to be wearing.
Oh man.
Look at that tall ass church. I guess it's up on the hill.
It's up.
Like he's looking up at the church from the third floor in an apartment building in Salem.
Yeah.
Salem isn't very hilly, guys.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter. This is future Salem.
Brian, how does this compare to Salem? Salem's in Fallout 4, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's.
Oh yeah, Salem. Yeah. Because you can go to a church and there's like a Deathclaw egg quest there. That's kind of a thing.
Which game wore it better?
Honestly, Murdered wore it better.
Nice.
Because at least these close alleyways feel like what downtown Salem feels like. Sorry, PS4's loading. There we go.
I also have to say that I appreciate stupid puns in game titles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Murdered
And
Soul
Murdered
Suspect.
Soul Suspect is just like that. That sounds like a joke I would have made about what a game should be called. That
Because
then
it was called like
made its
Murder
way
Mystery
into-
Revelations or something.
Yeah. Like Gamasutra used to have a touch site, like a touch games site, and they were like, what should we call this? And I was like, finger gaming. but nobody came up with a better title, and so it was called that for a while.
That's why. That's good to know. I
Yeah.
thought that was like a number of meetings went into that. Maybe some
Nah.
like reviews.
They gathered ideas from everybody, and then it was that. Another little UBM deep cut here is our group used to be called Think Services, and they wanted to have a slogan for it, and there were a bunch of them that were out there, and they were like, we give our very best or whatever kind of things, but mine was of course a joke, but I also legitimately thought it was the best, similar to Murdered Soul Suspect. So my Think Services tagline was, when you think services, think services.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm just gonna.
That's it. That's,
Bye.
stream's over,
At first
guys.
I was like, yeah, see you later. At first I was like, this is a fun joke, but then later I was like, no, this is really what we should do. Let's do this, please.
I would
And
assume
they-
that's
they
why
didn't.
they had that name in the first place. Like Think Services. Well, what do you want to do? Think Services.
Right.
Oh.
And they didn't take it, but they were wrong. They were wrong because of that. Owned. Did I miss that we sent that girl off to her
Body?
to her happiness? Did she go off into the heavens again?
What, the first girl we talked to? That was ages ago.
The cool girl.
Oops.
Oh no, the cool girl went to the church. The first dead girl went to the first
Heaven or whatever.
The first dead girl went to wherever. And now we're helping this poor girl here needs to figure out who she is and why she died.
So
There's a
this is
gazebo.
actually-
I'm going to attack it.
Yeah, go
Classic joke.
get it.
Classic joke.
This is further than I played because I don't have a PS4.
Wait, none of us have played past the first level?
Nope. So let's enjoy some new content now.
But Brandon,
I-
surely as a diehard fan, you previously played through this game to completion, 100%ed it, and got all the secrets.
No, but I really want to.
Yeah.
Like, this is a game that I saw enough of to know that I wanted to play it in its best format, which was going to be on the PS4. And then what happened was I couldn't afford a PS4 for the last 4 years, and so I don't have one, and I haven't played it. However, I do own the game. It is digitally in my PlayStation 4 queue for when I do own one. It's going to be ready to go. As an amusing side anecdote, I have owned a an Xbox One for many years, but have not played anything on it. But for research,
Wait.
I haven't even set it up. But for research, I need to play Crimson Skies,
Yeah.
and that just got Xbox One backward compatibility, or forward compatibility is more accurate. So I own the Xbox Crimson Skies. I just bought it last weekend, and so I'm actually gonna plug in my Xbox One to play an original Xbox game.
See,
on
this is actually let's hold on. Let's pause here for a minute. This is what the actual Salem is really like, which is fun historical facts. Like this spot overlooks the favored launching point of many privateers who operated with tacit permission of the Continental Navy during the Revolutionary War. Salem was the primary harbor for heavily armed and fast-moving ships that would attack Royal Navy ships as they attempted to apply pressure to the neighboring part of Boston Harbor. You can see this Revolutionary War dramatized in the recent Broadway phenomenon, Hamilton, an American musical.
I like when people. Oh man, did you just fall off? You just fell off that little. Ooh, it's a little difficult. Anyway, I like that kind of stuff too. When there's like optional historical factoids, but they're actually historical.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was somebody's job to fact check all of these. I mean, I'm sure somebody tried to fact check them.
Oh shit, we set our game in Salem. Like,
yeah, I'm sure they had like at least one person. I know like
Cube Master knows.
Cube Master, come back.
On there.
One of my favorite things, one of the reasons I like the Assassin's Creed games is only because of that, like those little historical facts and getting to like get a vision of what these cities might have looked like hundreds of years ago. And I know they have like a whole team that does that kind of research and stuff.
Yeah, well, Assassin's Creed, they went to Bratislava. No, sorry, that's in Slovakia. They went to God dang, they went to the famous town in Croatia where King's Landing is currently, which is Dubrovnik.
Mm.
are
And
you talking about the movie for Assassin's Creed, I think?
No, I'm talking about the wall textures in Assassin's Creed are directly the wall. They are pictures. They're based on pictures taken of the walls.
Oh, okay.
Castles in Dubrovnik, which is pretty cool. So they actually like go out there, take a picture, and they're like, yeah, I'll use this texture. I mean, a wall is public domain, basically, more or less.
It's a deep cut. Puke Master has returned, noting that they're at work right now, and they say all they know is a bunch of the guys went to Salem. So that counts.
I'm trying to solve this murder. I can't find the last clue, and I'm really sad.
I hope that plaque is like word for word a plaque that's out
Someone
there.
just took a picture of it and was like, put this in.
This plaque, please. All right, what have we missed here?
Let's solve this murder and then call it a day, guys.
I kind of like hunting around for clues as long as it's not too frustrating. You got a little indicator over there.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's for the church.
It's just the church.
So we found this
newspaper.
We found the prayer candles. We found the memorial, which I really think would have done it. We found like I don't know. There's like the ruins of a ship here that crashed.
Yeah. Have you looked at that boat enough?
Well, no. It's like so I think the object that I'm looking for is in this investigation area somewhere. But I don't know.
I mean that.
Oh wait, let's go down the pier.
Yeah, there's a shiny thing down there.
Yeah. This is like kind of weird level design. Like, how do you make a side quest puzzle that's worthwhile?
Hey.
Up.
Hey.
Hey, there's a ramp.
Hey.
Hey, I'm making a ramp up here.
I mean,
Old Town.
also,
Oh, what we got here?
there's so many games that especially like indie platform puzzlers, where they're like, do this thing, and then a thing appears, and it just after 5 minutes it starts to feel like work to me, because it's like, all right, I get that you want to have this kooky mechanic where like light equals shadow, or like shadows are the part you can jump on or whatever else. But I get tired of it after a while.
Yeah.
And but this it's like, because I'm a ghost.
A cool ghost.
Just like revealing things is kind of neat and fun.
Yeah.
And
It's a good
I don't know.
I think if I was to Pineo Cowplays, if I was to answer why the PS4 version's better than the PC, it's because they do gimmicky things with the controller, like the rumble and the 6-axis. That
Did
just...
you not just collect the final clue? Like, I feel like you did.
No, it was another object. It's totally like in this area, and I'm just missing it. Is it the boat somehow?
No.
Frickin'...
Just get in the boat. Yeah, and for me, like I can't speak for anyone else, but I tend to prefer playing games on a PS4 over a PC because I work at my PC all day.
Yeah, that's part of the... I don't like working all day and then sitting in front of my PC at night. Not a fan.
Getting old, I got these gnarled hands. I gotta relax them.
Yo, the highway, man. All right, that's too deep. But all right,
I wish I had been paying better attention here to see what you already got. You got those
candles, memorial, newspaper, photo.
Does that picture preview give you a hint?
Oh, it's like it's got the name of the boat that like went down that she was on.
Let's go look at this boat some more. Maybe it's in there.
I can't
just
walk
walk,
on the boat.
walk.
This boat is definitely just like a rectangle. It's definitely like it's the shape of a rectangle in the world.
All right,
it's
fair
just an
enough.
invisible wall. Like see, like there's a little flash. I walk out of the investigation zone. There's a flash out in the investigation zone, and the clue is in here. Like there's a fourth, and down the lower left hand it says
1 of 5.
4 out of 5, and so there's a fifth, and I just don't know where it is.
You've looked at both of these dinghies.
Yeah.
You looked at that dinghy.
Which
what
are they?
The one. Yeah, behind you.
This one.
You looked at that one. I assume.
It should totally be. I don't know why they dropped this here. Oh, was
what
the
if you
beach
get
too
in the
empty?
dinghy and then row somewhere else?
I can't. So...
Away from Salem. Can
No,
ghosts
you're
leave?
still in the investigation area up there. Oh no, you weren't. You left
no,
it.
no, I left it.
Anyone in chat knows.
Yeah, if anyone in chat wants to give any hot tips, I might have to game fax this. But
Oh man, that would be.
Yeah, we just gotta.
Sadness.
That'll be
so
sadness.
deflating.
Yeah, sorry. It sounded. I hate to.
It's an anticlimactic end to our.
Our adventure. It turns out none of us were experts on Murdered Soul Suspect. We just really wanted to play Murdered Soul Suspect.
That's right.
Which, hey,
well,
it was fun. And we thank you. You know what I'm really appreciative of? And thank you to all the devs who at some point worked on this game for popping in and telling us your stories, because that's kind of what we're trying to do on the Gamasutra Twitch channel. We're trying to figure out why games work. We're kind of poke and prod at them and, see when they fall apart or hold together. And Murdered Soul Suspect is a really cool game. I got it for $5 on PlayStation Marketplace. You can too.
Yeah.
And Brandon, it's on the Xbox One too, I think. I think it's on the Xbox One Digital Marketplace.
Yeah, but I already own it on the PS4, so.
Yeah, I know. So that means you can't buy it again.
But yeah, I guess just for the people watching the stream, you'll have to play it for yourself to find out how the lady on the beach died.
Yeah, I'll figure it out later. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I have been Brian Francis, contributing editor at Gamasutra. This has been Brandon and Alex, who are kind of also editors at Gamasutra. We would love it if you clicked the follow button, because if you do, you can find out. We usually do a lot of developer interviews on here. Sometimes we'll grab developers for old games and talk about their work. A lot of times we're talking to developers of new games and asking them how their new game is working. But if you click follow, you'll get a notification as long as you've got notifications turned on when we go live. So we'd appreciate if you do that. And we'll be putting, if you joined us late or you want to watch the full thing, go to gamasutra.com later on today and we'll have the video on demand posted. Sorry, Rept, I would love to stream this game all day, but they don't pay me to just play video games here. I wish.
Too bad.
Bye, everyone.
Happy Halloween. Bye.
So spooky.
Watch out for spooky ghosts.